Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Tower of Doom Week 19 Day 2. So, of course, today we have ourselves the Frostfire keep as far as the faction assault right over here. A little bit of a weird format as far as its layout, but one of the easier pure factions out there, especially if you're doing it with potion effects, which if you're going that far, obviously you would have the potion effects. But yeah, it has a really nice true damage tank and gets to do a bunch of lifesteal, so probably quite a few people are going for who might not have already done. And it seems a flat line at about 200 for some reason. Yeah, definitely worth considering. But other than that, it's just pretty much going to be a normal event. Nothing really too good as far as loot, so definitely not one of the more favorable ones to be farming, per se. But it's still one of the easier ones to complete out pure faction for with potion effects. Actually, it might be one of the easiest pure factions in the game, assuming you have potion effects. But other than that, we'll just be running through it for the free battles, of course, or spending 30 gems, of course, just to go and get the objective complete. As far as adventure boards, we do have a little bit of writs today, but other than that, we don't really have anything too noteworthy, and even writs aren't really that noteworthy. There's only 10 of them, and 10 writs is 1/10 of a deed, which doesn't really get you that far at all. Of course, I'm not sure why they made that so little. It should be at least 50 total, like a 10, 20, and a 30, which actually comes out to 60, not 50, but whatever. It should be about 50 total, regardless. And I'm not sure why they only made it up to 10. Even 50 would be pretty low because that's not even one whole deed. But oh well. And other than that, yeah, that's pretty much everything. And let's get into some of it. So first off, of course, we still have Tower of Doom going on. So we'll start over there and keep getting this down. We're currently almost at stage 11. Actually, we'll be stage 11 by the time we finish out our battles. So we'll go and claim that in a little bit then to go get all of that. Anyways, we have 6 battles left as far as our current amount of remaining battles. But we'll be able to go and do that pretty easily with whatever rooms we already know. So we currently have ourselves a lucky. So that counts as 2 wins right there into the move on. And then the final room. So we'll go take that first. So 4, 2, and then final. So both of these at the top. We're still using Finesse team, of course. Triple Finesse into Doomed Axe has been working pretty well for us. And I don't know, I just really love the team. Reminds me a lot of Dwarven Gate, just in a different way that actually does a lot of damage output. Which is probably one of the main reasons why I like this team so much. But we'll go for the... Actually, we only need yellow. So we are going to need to go and move that together. So we'll just give him some mana for now. Speaking of Dwarven Gate, we're actually up against one, oddly enough. But we'll go focus down as yellow since we get to do double damage to it. Ideally, we want to be hitting some extra turns so we can gain stats a little bit quicker. This team, when it doesn't gain stats, can go a little bit towards the slower side. However, it has so much damage output with how much mana it can keep cycling that is normally worth it regardless. And those extra turns are 12 additional magic each, so quite a substantial amount of damage increase whenever we can plop those in here and there. Not really too mandatory to get them, as we'll still end up winning, but definitely helps speed up the battle nonetheless. And also one nice feature of it, it does get to double tap when there's only one remaining. So we are going to be able to utilize that additional damage that ends up getting when there's only one left, which is end up being pretty good. So as you can see, we get a lucky there. So we're almost already there. That counts as 2 battles right there, that alone. So we'll take the 2 to move on and get there. And as long as one other person in my guild is actually doing battles, we should end up reaching that final tier in the next 10 minutes or so. We are almost going to get all the battles, especially with that Valraven there. I think we might be ever so slightly short if it's just us. But we'll go and get mana cycling here. We'll obviously go for Valraven. This does act essentially as a good Valraven killer, since it does get to do that additional damage to it. And all this extra turns get to stack up our damage as well. And I should end up killing it out very easily. Get our double kill there. Take our other extra turns, get it rolling again. Even more on top of that. Wow. We're going to have a lot of damage then. How much are we doing? 137, gosh. That gains so much stats so quick from all the extra turns. It's 12 to all allies per turn, or per extra turn, because our entire team is Strix. And of course it only buffs Strix, but if our entire team is Strix, then he's buffing our entire team, which ends up working out very, very well. But anyways, I hope all of you have been doing well and been staying safe. Hello, Bill. Hello, Army X-Tube. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Simpleman. Hello, Birdleaf. Hello, Zex. Hello, Bill. I already said Bill. Hello, Envit. What is Pure Faction and why is that important? Pure Faction is whenever you run the given faction for one of the delves, running the battle with only the faction troops. This is relevant because this accounts for 1/5 of the total amount of renown that every single faction has. The most noteworthy thing that it's used for is for some additional stats, but also for a bunch of level 20 pets that are required to get higher kingdom stars on various kingdoms. as most kingdoms do require these pure faction due to it requiring the faction pet, which will end up increasing the star level of the faction when you're getting really late into the game, which is probably one of the most noteworthy aspects of why pure faction is important, is more so than anything these days, due to the level 20 pet that it ends up giving you for doing level 500 pure faction. It's not something you would need to worry about until way, way later in the game. And by way, way later in the game, I mean like level 1,200, 1,300. Like you wait a very long time before you really bother with pure faction. But it's definitely something to consider once you start getting to that point, as there are some benefits to it. Mostly unlocking the really high star levels of various kingdoms, which become more relevant, even more relevant once they can start reaching level 20, which currently no kingdom can, but that will happen in the very near future, likely later this year. Almost guarantee later this year. Let's see. Also, hello, Chad. Hello. Who else did I miss? Hello, Bobby. Hope you've been doing well. Let's see. Yeah, pure faction. Generally, with pure faction, I would say the main levels you would take are 100 and 500. You generally barely even deal with anything else. 100 because it's the lowest you could do that would still give you any amount of additional pet benefit for when you go do later battles. And the 500 is because that's what you need to max out the delve. Yeah, those are the two main points of pure faction. Most other levels you don't tend to often do it on, for the most part. Okay, so we got a 4 and a 2, so let's grab those two. Actually, those are the same two as before, isn't it? Did I look at the right one? Yeah, it is. We got a double 4 too. That was the exact same layout. The unlock is even on the same one, on the 2. It's kind of funny. But we'll go do that then. So, yeah, 4-2. Same thing. Nothing changed. Let's see. Last night's stream was all over the place. In what regard? Let's see. Hello, John. Hello, Cookie. Glad you could join us again. What do we even take her? We'll take that for now. Get our yellow rolling. Take the other one. Are you referring to Salty's stream? I didn't catch most of Salty's stream, if that's what you're referring to. I caught it at the beginning, but didn't catch most of the rest. I did see that what's her name was on with her, though. Let's see. Go for that again. Oh, I forgot to take the green. Fail. Not that big a deal, though. Oh, so hello, Jellybean. Hello, Jefferson. Hello, Rammerford. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'll get that down for now. Salty went from new delve to friends to workplace to friends to stories to figures. That's funny. Yeah, it sounds like Salty. That 100% sounds like Salty. Oh, we don't have enough damage on that, do we? Actually, we do. So we'll grab that. He'll poke us. We'll poke him back. And that should have killed, but I didn't realize we're entangled. And, of course, he gets a revive. Why would you do such a thing? Oh, he gets double tap him twice. So we'll do a double into a double, and he's dead. Easy as that. Should you craft Tina or wait for Wild Queen and or Grey King? Wild Queen would be nice to have. I don't know. Do you own Yagwe? If you want to get Yagwe Queen of Tanya rolling, it could be worth considering. Let's take battle number 2. I'm not sure if Wild Queen's going to be anytime soon, though. I don't recall. Well, now that we would know it precisely anyways. But I forget if she was in this rotation or not yet. I don't know. Queen of Tanya is definitely worth having. But the only issue with it is almost every legend is technically not worth crafting. However, if you're planning on using enough, you could probably get the value from it. Yeah, the Wild Queen has already been in cycle. So yeah, it's probably safe to get Queen of Tanya then. Because I believe the cycle's still going on for another 4 or 5 weeks. So it's going to be a while before Tina's even back. I mean, before Queen of Tanya's even back. So it might actually be worth it to go for Queen of Tanya then. So, hello, Analyst. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Oh, she showed off the office? Nice. I might need to catch some of it. I caught the very beginning and then couldn't really make the rest. Loading, loading, loading. There we go. There's our unlock we need for our next room. And of course we get a Vow Raven on top of it. Don't think there was anything else we needed here. Doesn't seem like it. So we just go take the final room then. Oh, we got another lucky. You know what? We actually are going to be able to get all the points right now. Even if someone else in the guild isn't helping. Because we'll get a Doom here. We'll get the other 2 Dooms there. Oh, never mind. We will still be short, slightly short. We'll be pretty close. We'll be like 2 Dooms short. If no one else in my guild does any battles. I'll even grab here. Take that down for now. And then we'll be good to go. So hello, David and Gustavo. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. You might be interested in Spiffling Brit's new video on how to break the economy in Animal Crossing. Oh no, I already know all the ways to pretty much do that. I just haven't been doing it because I haven't been wanting to mess with any glitches. We're trying to play it legit. But no, the entire economy of Animal Crossing is broken beyond belief. It is very, very broken. Bells have the equivalent of almost 0 value. Like, the main currency in the game has basically 0 value due to inflation. So hello, Clown Shoes. Welcome. And hello, Merifalog. You've recently gotten Champion of Gaard as your first Mythic, and you could teams with him. Unfortunately, not too much. Champion of Gaard doesn't tend to get used too much. Let's see. Was that the one with... I forget which one that is. There's 2 of them kind of similar. Champion of Gaard. Oh, yeah. Champion of Gaard doesn't really get used for much, unfortunately. He's mostly a tank, but he suffers from the same thing that Stonehammer does, in that he's... while he can tank decently, he blocks mana so much with how ineffective his ability is. But yeah, generally, unfortunately, you wouldn't really be able to use this for much. Mostly because he wouldn't really help with anything. If you happen to have the half mana start off of humans, that could possibly work. But even in that situation, he just has such a high mana cost to block, given that he's probably going to be in first slot, that you don't really tend to use him compared to other options out there. Just going for like a cheap mana accumulation can actually be normally better than using Champion of Gaard. The most relevant thing he has is that all red allies get to gain 1 stat per turn. So for that aspect, you can kind of utilize it. However, it might be a little bit hard early on in the game to get him fully traded. However, he would serve as a really solid tank with that really decent final trait. If you were to get him fully traded, the easiest way to do so is get the first trait fully traded with trait stones, and then try to get your hands on 2 small orange orbs, and then use those 2 small oranges to get them up. You could also do it with 1 major orange if you happen to have 1 major orange, and just do all 3 traits simultaneously in order to max them out. But yeah, you'd mostly be using him for his traits because you have 50% spell reduction, 60% score reduction, and the extra red. As far as early game red troops that you could put that with, synergizing it with something like Mang, or if you happen to have gotten it last week, synergizing it with Earth's Fury could be a pretty decent potential. And then just putting a bunch of mana accumulation methods to synergize with it could end up working out okay. But overall, it's one of the more underwhelming mythics, unfortunately. Also, I just realized I'm using pure armor right now. We should probably go be using seasons or something. Only reason I was using pure armor was because of our Wayne earlier. But anyways, let's go back to Tower of Doom. I was wondering why we were doing slightly less damage. Could also be using magic, too, which I believe is what we were using yesterday. But we'll use seasons for now. Season's new. Might as well mess with it. Let's see. What do we have under 18? We have 4 and a 3. So let's go grab those. That'd been funny if it was 4 and 2 again. What troops are missing with 1 stat every turn for a color? Let's see. What color are we missing? We have blue. We have red. We have yellow. I think we're missing green. Green and something else, I believe. We have it for brown. Do we have it for purple? I can't recall. Yeah, didn't we recently get it for purple off that 1 troop? I think we're only missing it for green, if I'm not mistaken. Unless I'm forgetting one, but I'm pretty sure green is the only color that doesn't have gain 1 to all stats per turn. Unless I'm forgetting of one. I'm pretty sure it was green. I'll take that for now. Yeah, Champion of Gaard, the only thing it really gets used for is maybe Red Guild War Day. Red Guild War Day tends to lack proper tanks, and he is a proper tank. But aside from that, I don't feel like he gets used for much. That's like the only meta situation where he might actually be utilized. The struggle of missing extra turns. We have none to power them up, so we gotta keep poking. I thought it glitched for a second. Luckily it did not. That did happen yesterday. We actually lost a battle due to the weird glitch with targetable troops. Okay, what was the other battle we needed? We're at 18, so we needed 3. You're in a similar situation early mid-game and you got Shade of Zorn. It's nice having a Mythic, but it could be better. Yeah, Shade of Zorn tends to be one of the worst Mythics in the game. I believe it does have a boost ratio on it, so it might be okay earlier in the game. But for the most part, it's pretty underwhelming. Quite a few Mythics that are. There's actually quite a few Mythics that are weaker than commons, which is kind of funny, but it is the case. Also, Finesse is a common, theoretically. It's a special common, though. It's not actually a common, but it's technically common rarity. It's one of those weird commons that has higher trait stone costs. Also, I just realized something. Do I not have Finesse medaled? I thought I did. Is it just not showing up? I could have sworn I had Finesse medaled. Do I really not have Finesse medaled? I'm like 99% sure I do. Do we really not? Hold up. How do I not have Finesse medaled? We can go get a whole extra 4 attack, 4 magic. What are we doing? How long has that not been medaled for? Well, let's go medal it. It is a common, right? Yeah, it's a common. It definitely counts as a common. So we'll go and put 1 on there. Do we do 2 or do we go for another one of these? You know what? I'm actually going to do 2 and then just do 1. So with that, and I guess we'll get a Yasmin in there. We'll do it the normal way for once. Give him his extra little stats there. Also, this is the first time I ever fully medal something using this new format. Gosh, these things look so weird compared to before. And then we throw down a thing at it, and we should be good to go. Oh, also, we can see Medal of Summer this way. Medal of Summer, 180% spell damage. Interesting. I guess that's the one that's going to be used for the next event, I assume. Are you actually allowed to use them during the event to upgrade stuff? I thought you had to wait till after, until they got converted to seasons. It's kind of funny if you could, and someone accidentally like gets rid of theirs during the event while they still needed it. I would be surprised if that's actually possible. But there we go. It's not too many extra stats, but hey, a little bit extra. Anyways, where were we? Let's go back to Tower of Doom. Now that we have 4 additional attack and magic on this thing. I believe that was the last room we needed for floor 18. Yes, it was. Also, why did it glitch out there? That's kind of weird. But I thought it only ended right there, and then it goes all the way over there weirdly. But anyways, so that was everything we needed for this floor. So let's move on. How are we doing on our thing? We are 4 short, unfortunately. I'm only going to be getting 1 more right here. Because I don't think we'll have enough sigils unless we get a Valraven here our next battle. Okay, so I was right when I said green was the only one missing then. Yeah, there's a full breakdown. Bard is yellow. Champion of Anu is blue. Will of Nisha is purple. Champion of Gaard is red. Scorpius is brown. And then green's the only one that's missing. Okay. Yeah, I do recall that medal. I already knew what all the medals would be anyways. There's 3 of them. There's one for pure attack. There's one for pure magic. Or I should say spell damage. And there's one for a mix of both. During the event. Those are the 3 that could potentially happen. They might be adding more into the future, but those are the current upcoming ones. And the next one's going to be pure magic. And the one most likely after that will be a mix of skull damage and magic. Not sure to what scaling, but it will be a thing. I assume it's going to be 100%, but I'm not actually sure. Because that would make sense if it was 100%, because then it could be lowered down to 25% for the single badge. Oh, I should have taken that purple. I didn't again. We can just let it kill itself. I'm actually going to do nothing so that we can kill it right now. And now it's dead. Easy as that. Any good teams with Queen Aurora for level 500 or so? Queen Aurora is okay. There's better mana accumulation methods than it normally. Obviously, it 100% has to be fully traded to even really bother using it. Otherwise, you'd be better off with this Leprechaun. But most teams she gets to get built into. She wouldn't really help a team win, per se, because the strength of the team is dependent on every other factor. She just helps give it some mana. So she doesn't actually really necessarily help a team win. She's just kind of there to give things mana. Definitely, if you are using her, you want to make sure your team uses every single color. So if you have a lot of damage sources that can end up covering every single color, you'd probably want to do something like that around her. Because, of course, she gives +1 benefit to all colors. So you do want to make sure you cover all the grounds. But for the most part, she's relatively low impact and is really dependent on everything else on the team as far as her overall strength. If you're trying to use her, you'd probably be best off doing some kind of cast spam team where you can keep casting over and over again. But you would need to look at your options and kind of base it around that. But anything that has a lot of board control that can constantly keep doing its ability over again are the main things that you would synergize with a Queen Aurora. She's very situational, though. I haven't used her in probably almost a year now, unless it was just kind of there. Because Leprechaun has basically, for the last year, a little over a year, has basically replaced out Wild Queen. I mean, not Wild Queen, Queen Aurora. In almost every single situation, Leprechaun gets higher value than Queen Aurora, even though it's only an ultra rare compared to a Mythic. Oops, I was going to say, do we not have enough mana? We have it right over there. Clicking on the wrong ability. There, and it's dead. There we go. In guild events, if you're the only person that takes part in the event, etc., how does that overall achievement or perks? How does that overall achievements or perks? I'm not sure what you mean by the second part of that question. But yeah, what Army X Tube said is pretty much the answer to that. Probably means you need to join a different guild if you're the only person in the entire guild doing the event. Or one of the only few. But yeah, there's no benefit to it, just downsides. You'd want to get into a guild that would do about the same amount of contribution as you would. Let's see, we'll go for that for now. Got our yellow in there. That'll be enough to get to full. I'll go cast this down onto his only yellow. Just to get that out of the way. Hopefully we'll get some alignment on this. It's not too big a deal if we don't. He'll go double green and get almost no value out of it. Actually, we get more value than he does from all the extra turns that he gives us for extra stats, so thank you for that. Nice. Stacked up to 118 damage now. And he is very much dead. Another Mythic made useless by a more common troop. Yeah, that does happen sometimes. Double Queen Aurora is viable in some situations because that is 2 to all mana colors. I feel like there's going to be a really broken team with it into the future. Overall, they're kind of just average, the teams that use Double Queen Aurora. I have messed around with it in the past, as well as Triple Queen Aurora, but I feel like double's the most you could actually get away with. It's not horrible, it's just there's better options out there in most situations. Okay, what else do we need? So that should be it. Go into the final battle there then. Okay, so we get that, get our extra turn pretty much immediately there. Or not pretty much immediately, literally immediately. I'll take that for now. Unfortunately, that was not enough to kill it, but we do have our mana still intact. Even though he tried draining some. I think he just drained Hero. They by the stunned. So we should be fine then. Oh, there is one issue with the fact that he just did that, though. We actually are about to lose Perpetual Yellow Storm. And the reason for that is... luckily, the weapon gives it to us as well. But the reason for that is we're stunned, so we no longer get it at the beginning of every turn. However, the weapon cast, I think, just saved us there. And he's dead. There we go. And we got Yellow Storm again after he got unstunned. I know, Thrall is very broken. Thrall is a common that has 6 mana cost. However, he has a destroy gem based on his full magic. There's a good chance he's going to be nerfed to half his magic. Mostly because he has one of the highest... actually, I believe he has the highest mana accumulation to mana cost ratio in the entire game. Not only does he have +1 purple to himself while only having a 6 mana cost, that could theoretically be brought to a 3 mana cost with a half mana start, though generally you wouldn't really bother with that since he already has such a high mana start. He has a like 30 something destroy in most situations. Like if I go over to him right now, I'm pretty sure I have 30. Actually, we can go even higher. Let's see, how much of a destroy does he have right now? It should be like high 30s, low 40s. It is ridiculously high for only 6 mana costs. It is, a little bit lower than that, 32 with all of our magic. That's still pretty high though. That's half the board. He basically gets to destroy half the board with a single cast. And in some game modes, that's even higher, obviously, like on Guild Wars, for example, where you have additional magic from your guild, where it could be easily over 40. But yeah, he's pretty broken with how much mana accumulation he gets. It's pretty funny. He's quickly becoming like one of the best mana generators in the game as more magic keeps getting added to the game. He likely will be tweaked eventually just because of how broken he's going to increasingly keep getting. But it is pretty funny. As when he first came out, he was rather average and almost never really used. But over time, particularly this last year or so, he has increasingly gotten better and better to the point where he's actually among one of the better troops in the game. I don't personally use him too often, but he is a pretty decent mana accumulation method. I just tend to prefer Leprechaun and stuff just because of Empower. While he does have a really high amount of mana accumulation, he does have at minimum a 1-turn delay on getting that mana accumulation, which is one of the biggest things holding him back. It is also possible not to surge on purple, and while I do have the highest purple surge chance in the game, it is still technically possible not to surge. And if you can't get him up to full mana in 1 turn, then he's definitely going to be slower than like Leprechaun and things like that. So it's situational, but there are teams that do end up utilizing him pretty well. I think I've showed some teams a couple months back that end up using him back in January. I haven't really been showing many teams lately that end up using him though. But anyways, let's go get some dailies done now that we're out of battles on there. Oh yeah, did we ever get enough battles? It would actually depend on if anyone in my guild got the rest. But let's see. Did we actually get enough battles to get the next little stage? No, we did not. We're too short. Oh, fail. We are too short. Oh, we'll go and claim what we currently have then. See what we get from this orb. Oh! I kind of want to see if those are double blue now. We just got a blue. Can we keep up that luck? I should have waited. We could have gotten triple blue. Anyways, let's go clear these out real quick. Still trying to level up Monk slowly. Not in too big of a rush, obviously. We should probably have level 91 by the end of stream, most likely. or somewhere's around there. Even if we don't get a level a day, we'll pretty much still be there. We still have quite a bit of time before next Guild War. What is that at this point? 12 days or something? 13 days. Well, I guess it depends on how you count it. But we still got plenty of time to go level this thing to 100. Also, nothing good on an adventure board. All we have is 10 writs, which is basically 1/10 of a deed. But at least a free XP, if nothing else. Even if he did self-damage based on magic, that wouldn't be too bad. If he did 30-something damage when you have like 150 durability or something, that's not really too bad. If you can get like 4 or 5 casts in him, that's still pretty good value. A normal gnome, you know you want to drop us 4 gem keys or a vault key. Probably 4 gem keys because vault key chances are absurdly low when it's not an event. What do we get? Oh, only 4,000 gold. What are you doing? You had a chance that you do something good for once. You spoiled it. If you have anyone else who has any questions, let me know. We'll hand out a redeem code after we go clear out dungeons. As soon as we finish out the adventure board. Which will be pretty much in a few minutes then. And then we'll probably mess around with the rest of the stream of trying to get a monk level. However, I should probably go try farming some gold today, possibly. Some Explore 12 grinding. We haven't done Explore 12 grinding for a while. But we really need a bit more gold. She didn't say how many are left. Well, we know we have this set going on for another 5 months. We just don't know what's happening after that. If this is the final set ever, or if they're going to be doing more sets after this. Based on how the game is moving, this is likely to be the final set. However, it has never been 100% confirmed that it is. Okay, there's the last of our writs and that mode. Oh, I was using magic that entire time. Well, that's good, because now we can switch easily to this without even switching our thing. So we'll go and go into this, so we don't need to change our token setup. Grab right into our Phoenicia, and that'll be good to go. And just throw AoE to AoE to AoE, and that'll kill it all out. We made a pretty fun team. Doomed Glaive, Stormcaller, Triple Luna. Yeah, that could end up working. Luna does have a fun mechanic, and at every single yellow you get a bunch of explosions. And, yeah, that can lead to a lot of exploding. And then you can just keep poking them down over and over again. I've used double and triple Luna some in the past. I didn't really feel like it was meta enough to keep using, but it's definitely a fun build to mess around with nonetheless. It's fun to see the board constantly get exploded like that. With a nice board clear. Yeah, I personally always go for the extra star, but don't always just follow what I do for it, just because I have near infinite resources, obviously, given that we've been playing this game so long. So the methodology that I do sometimes might not necessarily be the best way to go, especially if you're lower on resources, because we pretty much just go for whatever maxes everything, and that's not always the most efficient way to use your resources. Because I know on my Nintendo Switch account, I didn't even level a single epic or epic that came from raids or invasions. I simply just ignored them and just used Mang in every single situation. I 100% ignored them and just went for Mang. It just didn't seem as worth it to do it at that point in the game. Obviously, later in the game, as you have more resources, you can consider upgrading them some or even all the way. But I know on my Nintendo Switch account, for the entire duration, I upgraded 0 raid and evasion troops the entire time. Okay, let me go hand out a code. I did say I would hand out a code at this point. Let's see. It should be this one as the next code. Let me just double check that it does indeed work. And it does indeed work. Perfect. So grab that right over there, paste that over there, and should be good to go. So paste that in, copy, and this should work for you guys. There you guys go. Use it on gemsofwar.com for the game code section. Your invite code can be found underneath your settings menu. Whatever your game says right over there is what you put in. Redeem code's right over there in chat. The QM9JUV. Why am I saying the whole thing? But you guys know. Right over there. And that's what you put in for redeem code. And the gives the same reward as always. That's not where it is. The True Treasure Maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. And it only works on PC mobile version. And make sure to go claim it, as it only has a few hundred claims. And even though we only have in the 50 viewers right now or so, it does end up going pretty quick because, of course, it gets spread around and everything. So definitely make sure to go use it. But there you guys go. Okay, so next order of business. Let's go do Frostfire keep. Because that'll be the main thing we need to go get down now. So, well, we have this team currently set. We were running a Rowan. That's a funny team. I guess that does work. I was running basically Rush Rowan to kill this out last time. I was considering running Truffle, obviously, as I showed in the video. But, I don't know. I guess we'll do Rush Rowan. Why not? A nice little change of pace. I was doing it with Slayer. We'll go do it with Monk, obviously, as I mentioned, just so we can get some free XP on it. But, where did Monk go? We did want to get a level if we can this stream. But, yeah, let's run this with Monk. Mountain Crusher, Rowan, Scurvy Sea Dog, and, I forgot to change the armor. I should go change the armor if we're going to be using this, as it does gain more of a benefit. However, for these earlier battles, I don't think it's really going to matter much. But all we basically do is just convert, cast, win, rinse, repeat. And Rowan should have one shot almost the entire duration of this stove. Oh, wait, never mind. I did switch to armor. Okay, perfect. I thought I didn't yet. My bad. I did switch to armor. Nice. Let's keep going. But for the first, 6 rooms, I think this can actually one-shot with how many stats we have. Either 5 or 6. And by rooms, I mean, entire delves. Till we hit, 60, I think. Up to 50, I think you can one-shot everything with how many stats we have. I definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream, as you guys mentioned. Definitely helps out a lot. Helps with YouTube algorithms. And apparently less people are working at YouTube due to the virus going around. So YouTube algorithms are all we have. We are stuck among the algorithm. Let's see, we'll take that for now. We'll take blue over there. Get a Rowan down. They even have that in one of the private things on the YouTube side. If you go check any of your videos, it's we are currently due to COVID-19, we are currently checking videos less to manually check them. So if your video gets demonetized, well, too bad is basically what it said, because we won't be around to check it as much with actual humans. Luckily, I haven't been demonetized in months. Also, I really hate the layout of the stove. Luckily, we only have to do it once every few months now. It's not the worst layout in the game. It's definitely nowhere near the best. I would say it's slightly below average. Is the Frostfire jewel worth getting? No, not really. It's a rather average weapon. Or even below average. It's very situational. To the point that you'd basically never use it. There's not too many delve weapons that are worth going for. There's life and there's life and death. There's essence of evil, or sorry, that's the other thing. There's life and death. There's jar of eyes, and then there is. That's almost it. That is almost a full list of viable faction weapons. But yeah, it's nothing too special. It's damage to an enemy, and if the enemy is frozen, curses them, so not really much there. And if the enemy's burning, death mark them. It's very situational that you would ever have an enemy both frozen and death marked, even if you're using it within the context of the troops, like that thing that can freeze and burn, or I mean freeze and burn, which would trigger the death mark and the thing on it, but the curse and death mark. But that's just way too situational to ever have, just because you'd specifically have to use it with that troop, and even then you might not necessarily hit it on exactly what you wanted to, since it gets to apply it to a random enemy whenever you actually turn off the Frostfire troop. But I don't know, it's just way too situational to ever really bother using. It's an okay effect. If we ever got a Mythic that freezes and burns all enemies on extra turn, it could be. But until then, I highly doubt it's going to be used much. And even in that situation, it might not be used. Secret of the Crypt I wouldn't really say is too good. However, it is basically an alternative Life and Death. But Life and Death and Jar of Eyes I would always say are the main two. But yeah, Crypt is kind of like Life and Death, but worse. To a degree that, I don't know. I feel like it personally doesn't get used much. Oh, why did I do that? We didn't even have alignment. Fail. That actually denied out our mana a little bit then, because of how it converts it. I'll take the skull for now. Grab Mountain. Let's get things rolling. How did he not get full mana out of that? Almost killed Rowan. Well, some people can't always get all weapons, though, because it's pretty expensive to get every single weapon that ever comes into the game. Especially if you're already starting from the basis of missing some weapons. Because some events have the weapon very deep. Like, for example, Tower of Doom has the weapon all the way at 500 gems. In order to get it. I'm pretty sure this is cheaper, though. How far is it? I believe it's 250? No, a little bit deeper than 250. It's at 410 gems. In order to get it from this event, if you were to get it via gems. But yeah, Tower of Doom, I believe, has it the absolute deepest at 500. The Tower of Doom event. Then the class weapon was somewhat deep, but the class weapon you can get for free, so you don't really need to go for it. Yeah, there are some weapons that are only obtainable for $5 currently in the game. They're the ones that specifically show up in the shop menu. Not the flash offer, but specifically the shop menu. There's one per kingdom. Those weapons were obtainable with in-game resources in the past. But when I say in the past, I mean like 5 to 3 years ago. Like 3 to 5 years ago. Like, they are very old weapons. I have obtained all of them for free through mostly Glory. I believe most of them came through. Some of them, I believe, came through slightly other methods, but most of them are from Glory. And pretty small amounts, too. Some of them were as cheap as, I believe, 80 Glory back when the game first started. You have to keep in mind, the Glory economy was way different then. Like, the amount of Glory max you could get within a week was like 100 at the time, or something like that. So when I say 80 Glory, that's a really different 80 Glory than what currently exists, where you could farm in like a few minutes, if that, getting that much Glory. Actually, it does take a little bit longer than that, but you know, it's way, way easier these days. You used 2 times Tesla with Astro and Shield. Worked pretty well. Yeah, Tesla would be pretty nice. Nice split damage to split damage. The team I'm currently using does not run, I don't believe, the entire time. The latest we could do it to is to the end of 50. And then it starts falling off enough to a degree that we would stop using it. But for now, it still gets our one-shots. And as long as it one-shots, it's worth using. Okay, where were we? Put that down for now. Grab a, let's take that. So we can take blue the following turn. And then kill it out. Hopefully it doesn't get a revive there. Likely it is not. Oddly enough, even though it has a higher multiplier, that room is actually easier than the Dragon Soul version of it. Just because the Dragon Soul version has a 50% chance to revive, which could slow down the battle. Is it worth doing treasure maps if you're past level 300 plus? Yes, only if you need gems. Or trying to get the achievement off it. But other than that, you don't tend to use it that often. However, it is technically the best way to infinitely farm gems in the game. The later you get into the game, the less effective that is, though. Because as your tribute gets better, you're better off just taking your tribute more often than bothering to mess with treasure hunt. Just because of the value that you get relative to the amount of time it takes to take tribute, which is only seconds, becomes increasingly better over time. However, if you're looking for an infinite way to farm gems, treasure hunt still is, to this day, even in endgame, the highest infinite gem farming in the entire game. Obviously, the later you get, the more ways you get free gems, so it becomes less and less desirable to do so. However, it is theoretically, even in endgame, still the best way to infinitely farm gems, being able to get anywhere from about 50 to 70 per hour, depending on how you allocate your resources and how quickly you can do them. But yeah, you can get a pretty decent handful of gems. Obviously, super late in the game, that's not really that effective, getting that many gems, but it's still technically the highest gem rate. Yes, they are changing treasure hunt. It's happening later this year, supposedly. They've been making mention of it for like a year and a half, 2 years now. But yeah, probably a little over 2 years now, actually. They still haven't done it. However, based on what currently they've said, it looks like it's going to be the later part of this year. They're going to be doing a treasure hunt rework. So it's around the corner. It's going to be after 5.0, though. 5.0 is coming sometime this summer. Though, of course, this was all said prior to the virus, so it could get delayed a little bit due to virus. Let's see. We'll take that for now. How you're using a Weaver team for it? Yeah, Weaver can end up working out pretty well, especially if you get double kill to double kill. I have used it some in delves in the past for low-level delves, and it definitely does work. And depending on how much magic damage you have, it doesn't even fall off. You can normally get almost all of the battles done. As far as the free battles, you know, when you're going to all rewards. If you're going further than that, then obviously it stops one-shotting eventually. Let's see, we'll take that for now. Let's see. I don't think we're at a level range where we'd really want to use it, though. Because normally if you're using a Weaver, you'd want to have it all the way up front if you're doing for this low of a range. Because everything else on the team we wouldn't necessarily need to make it work for these lower level range. Like, if we were going further, I'd probably use it. But I feel like if we were going to use a team like that for the lower level range, we'd want to go all in with what's it called? We'd want to go all in with mana accumulating for the Weaver, so that you can go straight from Weaver to Weaver. And if we can get a one-shot all enemies rather than having a double cast, the one-shot will be quicker than having a double cast in every situation. Enough diamonds for 2 Mythics in Forge. So which 2 of these should you get? Iron Guts, Grey King, Tina, Aquaticus. Between those 4, I would personally say Iron Guts and Tina 9000. Iron Guts so you can use it for delves. And Tina 9000 because you would probably use it for Guild Wars. Aquaticus I feel like is so situational that it barely ever gets used. And Grey King, while it is a pretty decent option, there's very few teams that will end up using 3 or 4 of a color. They do exist, obviously. Like even the team we're up against right now is using 3 purple. But you don't always get to have full value out of it. And the way that he ends up targeting on the board, I really hate troops that destroy a single color when they have a thing that's focused on that color. Because you have to basically determine what color you want to prioritize. And or if basically you want to prioritize how if you're doing damage or if you're doing board control. And that kind of dynamic that those troops have, I personally don't care for a lot. Obviously, some people don't mind it as much, but I feel like it's a really annoying mechanic. It's one of the main reasons I kind of like Tulio, because it still gets to choose a color, but doesn't actually get to remove it from the board or destroy it from the board, and that makes it a lot more convenient. But yeah, my main reason for saying Tina 9000, there's two main aspects that Tina 9000 has going for it. There's the fact that it's the strongest 50% spell reduction troop in the game, and also in a PvP-like situation, so if you're using it in PvP or Guild Wars, it will generally, if it double taps the same enemy, it will generally get a kill. There are very few instances where if Tina randomly hits the same troop twice, where it would not get a kill when doing similar stat battles. So in Guild Wars situations, that could be really devastating, because you pretty much get a free kill out of nowhere just from getting a cast, and it gains a bunch of durability to not die with. And once you get a lead with the Tina, you tend to auto win, which tends to be nice for those situations, and it works both offensively and defensively. Let's see. Just trying to read back in chat. But if you guys had any other questions, do leave it in chat. We'll get around to it, in case I mixed anything. Oh, Cedric room. Of course I would take it last. Of course. What weapon you used with 3 finesse? There's several different options that you can end up using. One of them is Doom Dax. The others are any of the 6 full AoE Doom weapons. You can basically just keep trading it out as you need. Other than that, you can also use either of the Suncrest weapons, either the Suncrest one or the Strix one, that end up creating a certain amount of mana accumulation based on how many are on the board. I mean, based on how many are on your team. So any of those options are pretty much the main thing. So basically any of the Suncrest or Strix weapons, both of which are in Soulforge right now, or using it with any of the 6 Doom full AoE weapons. And you can change those out if you have all 6 as well. Basically to hard counter whatever the battle is. Because it doesn't have to be yellow, since your mana is going to feed to it regardless of which one you're using. Because as long as you're using Stormcaller with Perpetual Yellow Storm, after you end up getting that rolling and your allies cast 3 times, you'll have full mana automatically just through that. So hello, Dinosuit Girl. Welcome. What is the $5 weapon from Drakzoom, Kedar, and Cinemirage? I do not have them memorized off the top of my head. Though if I looked at the page, I could probably remember which one it is. In most situations. So I guess I can go double check real quick. But let me go see. I think I might forget which one Cinemirage is, just because it's one of the more recent ones. I guess maybe Drakzoom too. Let's see if I can actually remember just by looking at it. Let's take a tribute. Okay, so the weapon from each of those that are $5 only. Let's see, let's do Kedar first, because that should be the easiest one to say. Let's see, as far as Kedar, the $5 weapon is Withering Staff, I'm pretty sure. I don't believe this is obtained by any other means. It's a really old lifesteal that actually got reworked like 2 or 3 times, but it's a really old weapon. So that should be the one that's $5. Generally, it's the one that's the oldest one from the kingdom, which is why Cinemirage and the other one's a little bit harder to predict. But yeah, it's definitely a Withering Staff, because nothing else is here is that old. Everything else is relatively newer. Actually, this used to be a old event weapon too, but then it got made into a Soulforge thing. That was actually obtainable through other means, through an event before, which is kind of funny. But yeah, Withering Staff is definitely the $5 weapon for Kedar. As far as for Drakzoom, the $5 weapon for Drakzoom is, I believe, the Daemon Leash is the one. Let me double check. Wait, Fire and Ice exists here? Was that the $5 weapon? Actually, never mind. Fire and Ice might be the $5 weapon, now that I look at it. It's either Daemon Leash or Fire and Ice. I believe it's actually Fire and Ice now that I think about it. Fire and Ice is a really old weapon. end up coming in with Sun and Moon and War and Peace ages upon ages ago. And other than that, the one for Cinema Mirage, I believe, was the book. Whatever that one book was from there. It's a lot harder to predict on these just because they end up getting kind of their weapons switch around. But I believe Tome of Sin was the one that comes off the $5, if I'm not mistaken. And Jack-o'-lantern was the old Halloween thing from ages ago. That was like Halloween of 2017 right there or something like that. That's ancient long ago. Bodie McBoatface. Or Scythe McScytheface. Funny weapon. Community-made weapon. Could use this weapon, though. Anyways, let's go and finish out these events. Also, what is this blinking? I don't understand why that blinks sometimes, even though you've completely completed out the event. Makes no sense. Wait, Ivextinus is the $5 weapon? It shouldn't be. It's a Soulforge weapon. You can get it in a Soulforge. I don't think they would have made that the $5 weapon. Because that'd be weird if they did. Because you get it in Soulforge. It's always available in Soulforge. It is technically one of the oldest weapons, though. I believe that came out in 2017. Like early, mid 2017. Actually, older than that. My bad. 2016, actually. Maybe even 2015. Now that I think about it. Yeah, I keep forgetting. The game's even older than that. Keeps scaling it up for whatever reason. But, yeah, the game is over 5 years old. Losing track of time. No, Ivextinus is a horrifically bad weapon. It has never been viable. It has never been viable ever. And never will be viable. Or finally, speaking of never viable, we're actually finally at the point where it doesn't one-shot anymore. Which is concerning. Which means it's about time to go switch up our team. Because after this delve, we lose any kind of really chance to one-shot most of the battles. Yeah, just because a weapon is offered for $5 doesn't mean it's a $5 weapon. There's a big difference between them offering the weapon for $5 and it actually being a $5 weapon. They are two completely different things. So you could have seen something as a $5 thing, but it might not actually been a $5 weapon. Only the ones that are specifically in the shop are the $5 weapons. Did he really just live with 2 HP? Well, now it's 5 because it is regen, but... I'd go use triple Luna. I mean Luna. Theoretically, yeah, we could. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, can't we even make like a weird Mirage, a weird what's it called? A weird Phoenicia team. I think we could build double cast Phoenicia, a quick cast double cast Phoenicia team. Which honestly, now that I say that, I almost want to go use that. This is actually a level range where Phoenicia would work really, really well. However, we'd have to change our hero class to Sunspear. This is the only problem with that. I can go do it, I guess, to mess around. We'd also need to change the magic, obviously. But I believe this would be a perfect level range for its double cast. I don't think it would get single cast. The stats seem a little bit too high to get single cast on it. Well, theoretically, Yasmin's Pride is so good that spending $5 to get it slightly early might actually have been worth it if you were actually using it some. Yasmin's Pride is among one of the better weapons in the game. But yeah, you can get it for free for in-game resources. The game doesn't really make that clear at all, which weapons are 5-hour only. I have most of them memorized from most of the older kingdoms, but a lot of people don't know which ones are or aren't. And nowhere in the game itself does it really make it really evident. Is Yasmin's Pride appearing anytime soon? I don't believe so. I believe we just had it recently. It only comes down during the event that the kingdom is from. I believe we had the event recently. How good do we do with alignment? And he's dead. He's so much score reduction, 65%. Not to mention that actually stacks partially with the 25%. And hey, there's our monk level. So now actually would be a good time to go change to a Phoenicia or something. So you know what? I am actually going to go try a Phoenicia build real quick. We have everything to basically make it work if we want to go messing with it. I kind of want to try. I feel like I don't use Phoenicia for too many other things. And she is actually available this week as well. She's in Soulforge right now. So might as well give her a chance. What was the color restriction again? Yellow and blue. Let's see. What's the synergy troops I want to use for this? To get it rolling. What are all the empower options we have? Empower. Oh, yeah, we could actually use Mercy, oddly enough. Or go all in with, like, the Tapon. Hey, could you imagine Yagway Phoenicia? That actually is a thing that could work. It is a type of build. Normally it's Yagway Queen of Tanya, but it's still a thing that could work. I'm trying to get a setup for it that would give the rest of the damage. Do we own double Phoenicia? Hold up. Do we have double Phoenicia? No, I did not. Should I go get double Phoenicia? Mwahaha. No, because we need Hero somewhere, so there wouldn't be any room for Hero if we were to do that. But anyways, let's go get Hero with gosh, what weapon do we even need? I guess we could run an Essence, but I don't want to block it. What color are we still missing? Brown and purple. I don't think there's a good brown-purple mana accumulation. There's great brown-purple weapons. Nothing that's for quick kill, though. Well, I guess we can synergize it with Black Manacle and try to get enough damage that way. I would kind of want a bigger hit than that, though. Do we not have one based on Elemental? What's Elemental's bow coloration again? Elemental bow. I don't want color. I want it's a purple yellow. We could do that to Mercy and then get blue green. We're gonna give this a shot. What do you create again? Maybe we might want a different convert. But yeah, we could do that into Mercy. Get rid of the purple. Do that. Get cleanse if we need it. I'm gonna try this weird team and see how it goes. Change it up for once. Where's Mercy? We're allowed to use Mercy. Oh, I forgot to see. Whoops. No wonder she's not coming up. But yeah, Elemental Bow, Phoenicia, Mercy, Mirage Queen. Let's see how this goes. Into double yellow. What color are we not using? Oh, we are using every color. Let's use double yellow. That should be fine. Where is it? Where did it go? There it is. Okay, let's just give this a shot, see what happens. And we'll do it with Sun Spear class. Sun Spear hero class. I don't believe I need to change up the talents. Should already be set up correctly. Well, looks good enough. Alright, let's see what happens. Just for fun. We are set to magic, right? Oh, no. I need to make sure it saves. We'll set to magic next battle. Alright, let's see how this goes. See if this actually works out. Oh, that one got one-shotted. One down. Let's see if we can maintain that. I'm not even using the right thing. Let me go do that. Switch to magic, obviously. If we're using Phoenicia, we want to go all in on this magic damage output. So how much full AoE are we currently at right now with her? That is 114 full AoE. That's enough to one-shot still at this battle. Still enough to one-shot. Hey, we'll grab that. Get all that mana going. Take the other green. Throw for full mana. Do we have a Mercy? No. Actually, Hero's blocking a little bit too much here. It's a little, he's blocking really heavily on yellow. Go to that. Get this down. Dead. I just want to put the Phoenicia in front of it. Let's see if he can one-shot a tier 5 battle at this range. Is that enough damage? I think it's slightly short. Looks ever so slightly short on damage output. I'm gonna do this and hope I can get that. Wow, I actually did. Then we go for our Phoenicia, and he's dead. Not sure how long this still one-shots for, but it's still one-shotting at 60. At least with my stats anyways. Obviously lower stats, sooner it'd fall off. Oh gosh, that missed really hard. I'm not even sure if we need hero with that bow there. Well, we obviously need hero. But I almost feel like it'd be better just to get Phoenicia up quicker. Elemental bow doesn't seem to be doing anything other than blocking yellow by 14 mana. I got 2 dragon rooms. One's a treasure room. Top left one is, this one isn't. That's why I'm taking this one first. Yeah, Yasmin's Pride's from Pan's Veil. And it would be in Soulforge when it's at event week. Why not using Reflection of Good? We could do it with that, just so it doesn't block. It'd be mana accumulation for it. Because, yeah, I believe we do need to unblock its yellow. I was expecting to get slightly more value from doing that. But it seems to be getting pretty poor value. And the main reason for that is there's no elemental hero class. So it's a little bit harder to always use elemental bow. Oh, Egg actually lived. But Egg is pretty durable. Oh no, it's going to get a summon. Likely we can still easily kill that out, but still. Gonna be in our way. Okay, that should be dead. And it was killed out. And down it goes. Or I can use your team suggestion. Sure, we can go get you try your team suggestion. Mix it up a bit. Wanted to give Phoenicia one shot a try. Could you put the code in again? And let's go copy it. Or you can just mention what the troops were, either or. I know it was built around, what's her name? Around the Arachnean Weaver. Recommended Tina 9000 teams. Mountain Crusher, Apothecary, Tina 9000, followed by one other troop, is one of the more classic ways of setting it up. It can be set up differently depending on what you're trying to do. Like, for example, you tend to use it more towards second slot when you're trying to fight against, let's say, Yagwe, Queen Titania, for example. But the general format is Mountain Crusher, Apothecary, Queen Titania in most situations. And sometimes you go Queen Titania in second with Apothecary in third. And then just build one other supporting troop into it. Sometimes even into Tina itself. Or into another damage. Depends what the battle is and what you're trying to do with it. But that's the basic shell of the team that it tends to get used with. But there are other ways of using it, of course, too. I kind of do want to try this team again in a different format, though. I just need hero not being annoying. Because right now it's just ultra blocking our other troop. But yeah, we'll go get that team a shot as soon as we finish out this one. But yeah, that weapon was just blocking a bit too much in first slot. Still worked out great, though. And she does have 20% extra stats this week, too. Just one of the other reasons why this works even better. Anyways. Claim rewards. On to the next one. Okay, what was the team again? It was Mountain Crusher. Oops, I'm not typing anywheres. Mountain Crusher. Tina. Wait, what? Wait, Tina can't be used. Oh, never mind. You were referring to the other thing. My bad. I was reading the wrong thing. Wrong thing. My bad. 1 second. Where was the team? Why didn't what's his name mention the thing again? Marcelo, why didn't you re-mention your team? You said to go use your team, and then you didn't re-mention it at all. I know it was based around Weaver. I just forget what the rest of the composition was. There it is. There it is. Mountain Crusher. I knew you used Mountain Crusher, which is why I was starting to read the other team. The Deep King. Mother of Darkness. For the bleed, mostly to make Weaver go in range. And then Weaver. Okay. And, let's see. We'll just go with it with Monk. Just so we can gain. Oh, I just realized something. No wonder why we've been going slower, too. I forgot enchant this entire time. Haven't been using enchant this entire time going through. At this point, I might as well not even do it and just see if we can do it without enchant. I was wondering why I was going slightly slower on all these battles. That would be why. It did seem like it was taking slightly longer with our good teams. But that's because no enchants. Let's go for extra brown here. Just get things rolling a bit. And we should be good. And then Weaver just kind of gets up automatically off the other thing. Okay, so let's go with this. A lot of true damage. Obviously, the whole team is based around true damage and not dying. Okay, right off the bat, we need, we'll stick blue for now. Let him do his thing. Grab a brown, get that rolling. Get the last little bit of our mana. Is Weaver enough damage? Yes, it is. We'll go for Weaver. Get all the explosions going. What else do we need? Take the purple for now, get another Weaver. And should pretty much be good to go. The double Weaver casts. I used to use double Weaver a lot in lower level delves. I kind of stopped for the longest time, but it's still meta. Why would you want to minus purple? Because Weaver is probably the most important thing to give mana to. Even though you have two things that use blue. We're going to try for Sky Purple. Didn't get it. Actually, I got a Sky Purple, not the Sky Purple I needed, though. But oh well. Okay, we'll take that for free. Get our Weaver down. Double kill. That should be enough damage to kill with the splash to adjacents. Actually, get the normal kill. There we go. And then we get right back to Weaver. Loading, loading, loading. Go, loading screen, go. You got this. I will take this one. But yeah, I can't believe I went this long without going with enchant. But at this point, we might as well see if we can make it all the way without, since we already went so far. Though it does slow you down a decent amount. But hey, we'll save 30 gems if we can actually get away with it. It's somewhat pure luck on some factions if you do or don't. Hopefully we'll get lucky this time. What even is the move? Oh, green. Which is actually something we need, oddly enough. And we have exact enough damage to still get kill in the last slot. Oh, never mind. It would kill the other one even if it wasn't exact there. What do we even need here? We'll take the brown for now. Grab another Weaver. Oh, oops, that was enough damage. Whoops, mistakes were made. Not that big a deal, though. He'll die to any true damage. There we go. Yeah, servers have been pretty bad lately. I've been noticing it. Luckily, it wasn't that bad for a Monday video other than for like a short duration there. But for every single one of our streams, I've really been noticing the decline. It's more so the game than anything. Oh, we got the Weaver there. Any true damage to kill. And he's dead. And that one true damage troop is one of the reasons why not Sunken Fleet, what's it called? Sea of Sorrows is one of the more annoying devils in the game. Also, I should have waited on this bullet team. This might be annoying. I don't think we have a quick kill for his second slot. How do we deal with that? Let's see. Ideally, we'd actually do it by doing Mountain Crusher. Seems counterproductive since he needs Brown. If I need him not moving around our team, that'd be very beneficial if he doesn't move us. So we'll do this. This is a bit random, but I need to go for it and hope it hits, and it does. But yeah, that legend right there is the reason why Sunken Fleet is so annoying. He basically just gets a free double kill, or even triple kill from his ability, if he has much higher stats than the enemy, like how we have much higher than the enemy right now. Just imagine that, but the inverse. And that's basically what a faction battle is for, like for pure faction in Sunken Fleet. We'll be getting it done eventually, though. It's the only faction we don't currently have completed. Not because it's so difficult that we couldn't, but because I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But it is one of the more difficult pure factions in the game. Obviously, with potion effects, it should be manageable. I'll take that for now. Grab our explosion. Do we have Weaver damage to kill? I don't believe so, even with the bleed. So it's a little bit short, so we'll go for this. That then brings it to kill range. And it should die to something. Oh, they ended up changing Sunspear back to normal. The main reason for this is the community was set on fire for what happened to Sunspear. So they eventually reverted it back to normal. Yeah, I'm not sure why they ended up changing its final trait. Like, everyone was mentioning to change its second trait. And for whatever reason, they changed its third trait. Which was a very weird change that they did. But they basically reverted it back to normal after a few days. Due to extreme backlash, because it completely nerfed the troop. By getting rid of its final perk. Haha, yeah, Daniel. Play on words. I missed the funny post. Which funny post? She didn't believe Cynical is a content creator because she's called Cinny. Really? We'll take that for now. Oh, I get the joke now. It took me a second. Oh, that's mean. Let's see. We'll grab true damage there. So we can go right into... Oh, wait. Weaver's not enough damage. Let's do that. Then we do Weaver. Cynical. I need to unblock supplement. I think the devs even blocked supplement at one point. It was funny. I think they had you blocked for like, what, a week or 2 weeks or something? Let's see. What do we even take here? We'll grab, we'll take the red for now. Get that rolling, throw this down. And that is almost match. How do we have no follow-up? I guess we just take a skull. So I guess that is a follow-up. Not the follow-up, but I guess that still works. I want to kill it with true damage. Not like it matters which way we go about it. But there we go. Hopefully one more floor. Because hopefully we do not need those extra battles. Because if we do, we need to go waste 30 gems. But we seem to be ahead enough that we might be able to. But we're not that far ahead. It depends what the multipliers are for this room. Going forward here. We might not have enough multiplier to make it work. That'd be really sad if we're like 1,000 points short and we can't save the 30 gems by going slower the entire time. Generally, you should always buy it just because it's going to save you so much time. And it's only going to be 30 gems extra anyways. But I don't know. We'll get to see this time if we actually get to save 30 gems or not. I don't think we've saved 30 gems on an event for a while now. Mostly because I prefer going with the enchant. Just because of the benefit that it gives. And also because it would have helped us win like 10 minutes earlier. Let's see. We'll take that over. Wasn't one of the main devs of Gems of War famous for another card battle game or something? Well, it wasn't a card battle game, but Surian had a lot of success with Puzzle Quest. Like, that was their big match 3 game prior to Gems of War. But, yeah, Puzzle Quest was the biggest thing that they ever did prior to Gems of War. They've done quite a few things, but as far as any of them that actually gained any traction, the Puzzle Quest series, particularly the first one, was what they did. I'm still holding out for Puzzle Quest 3. They made a remake of Puzzle Quest 1 that's exclusive to Switch. So there's possibility that, or, you know, an HD remake. So there is a possibility, given that they made an HD remake of that they're making a third version of it. And there's even a possibility it'll be a Switch exclusive initially. And the main reason I say that is Puzzle Quest 1 actually came out initially as a Switch exclusive. It's something I didn't even realize. But when it launched, it was actually Switch only. And then it eventually came to like almost every platform in existence. And they made the remake the exact same way. So there's a good possibility if they make the third version of it, they might actually make it exclusive to Switch. And it might actually be advertised a bit. Let's see, we'll go for that for now. Let's see, we'll kill that out. There we go. But yeah, I'm still really hoping they make Puzzle Quest 3. Would be a really, really fun game. If they take everything they learned from Gems of War, combined it with Puzzle Quest 1, and make a great single-player game. What do we grab here? We'll take that over. As much as they deny it, there's almost 100% chance they're working on Puzzle Quest 3 to some capacity. What do we grab here? I'll take that over. Because the HD remake for Puzzle Quest kind of came out of nowhere. Like, there was no signs it was going to happen. And then one day, like a week prior to even happening, it was like, oh yeah, there's a Puzzle Quest HD remake that has additional content for it as well. Just being almost shadow dropped out of nowhere. Came really out of nowhere. Oh good, Key Lime's doing good. That's great to hear. Did he not cover a Monday event video? Last I checked, he hasn't covered a video in like almost 3 weeks. And I don't personally catch his Twitch. So it's one of the reasons why I almost forgot. Because I normally only see it if there's a YouTube notification. And I don't believe he has. Let's see. We'll grab, what do we need here? We'll take that for now. But yeah, he went through some kind of divorce or something. He's been going through a lot. I don't know, concept of marriage seems very, very dated. I'll take that for now. I don't know a single person whose first marriage actually worked. Oh, what do we grab here? We'll take the brown over for now. What about my parents? Oh no, they divorced when I was 13. So about 12 years ago. Actually, my mom divorced 2 times. Let's see. We'll go for that one. Yeah, we go to this one, then to the bottom one, to the final battle there. I do grab that. We'll take the brown for now. We'll take a... What do we need here? Grab our yellow. Get a Weaver and get our kills then. And should be pretty much good to go. We'll take the Weaver. Well, I have a friend who seems like their second marriage is going to end up working out pretty well. But still in the early stages, so it's kind of hard to tell. Thank you, Chad. Oh, and thank you, Oh, you're referring to Cynical. But yeah, Cynical does some pretty good content if you haven't caught it. He's also been covering Monday event videos lately. He normally covers almost immediately, too. Because I don't think he goes over teams. He just goes over, like, the overview and everything. It's the main reason why it normally takes mine so much longer. Because I like getting teams into them. But, of course, we always do the little overview on Sunday beforehand. Which is more of, like, a non-team version of it. Just without the Soul Forge or anything since it doesn't exist yet. Let's see. What do we take here? We need a Weaver. But I don't have the damage to make Weaver work. Also, moment of truth. We'll find out if we actually saved 30 gems or if we just wasted like 10 minutes. It's why I almost always go for it. Because if you didn't get enough points, you're going to have to waste 30 gems anyways. So you might as well just waste the 30 gems up front. Because the chance that you'll have to waste 30 gems anyways is ridiculously high. And, yeah, that's obviously not favorable. But it happens a lot. Okay, it's double taps if there's only one left, right? Yeah, it should. There we go. That's what I thought. Just double checking. For future reference for when we get decimated by Sea of Sorrows later. But, anyways. Let's see. Do we have enough points? Why do I feel like the answer is no? Oh, we did it! We saved 30 gems. It cost us like 10 minutes or something. Or 15 minutes due to the amount of speed we lost from not having a chant. But there we go. Boom. 30 gems saved. Not like it really matters much, but there we go. And we get an orange and a purple. Also, oh yeah, I never rolled my luck on this other thing. I believe my guild would have done Tower of Doom by now. I assume they would have done a few battles by now. And yes, they have. Good job, whoever did that. So let's see what we get from this. Come on, double blue. We got a blue for the first one. No, double grade. We lost all of our luck after our first drop. Fail. Oh, well. There we go. So, nice. We saved 30 gems. Not like it matters much, but there we go. I wouldn't advise doing it that way, but still nice nonetheless. Oh, gosh. What is this loading screen? I did not mean to click in here, and now it's taking forever to load into it. Your marriage lasted 1 month. Ouch. That is quite unfortunate, but it happens. But does anyone else have any other questions or anything before we wrap up for today? We'll be starting Puzzle Quest. We'll be starting Animal Crossing probably around the same time tomorrow, around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about 12.5 hours from now. Other than that, obviously Gems of War will be the same time as always, an hour and a half prior to now tomorrow, which is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll mostly be doing the pet battle and getting done what should be getting done Tower of Doom. And if not completely finished, it should be finished by Thursday night. And other than that, this Friday, we, of course, have a new faction. And I should probably be farming some gold either tomorrow and or Thursday, so we have a little bit more gold. I'm not sure if we're going to farm all the way to 5 million. We'll see how much we really need. If nothing else, we could always use some slightly bigger treasure because we're going to have so much to throw at it. But we also don't necessarily have to get it to 200. However, this faction does seem like it's RNG-based faction to the point where we might want to, but we'll kind of see and go by there. Because we could always just upgrade it to 150. 150 only costs like about 2 million gold, compared to if we went all the way to 200, it would cost like 5 million gold or so, due to the amount of increase in treasure that we would need to get it to that point. So we'll see which way we end up doing it. But because our gold stack is a little bit low actually at the moment, probably the lowest it's been in a while. But I need to go farm our gold, is the bottom line. We might need to start running Explore 12 more often rather than leveling up hero classes. Obviously, our hero classes will be leveled at a lower rate, but if we won't be getting more hero classes into the future, that's probably the way to go. But we can easily get over like 300,000 per hour if we do Explore 12. Just keep spamming it. Did I do over 100,000 in Animal Crossing? Yes, we did get over 100,000 miles in Animal Crossing. Actually, I'm probably one of the only several people who did that legit. Because I'm pretty sure most people wouldn't be sane enough to have farmed that much. But yeah, we end up hitting 100,000 miles in Animal Crossing. It takes a while. I think the full process took like 20, 30 hours total. Probably closer to 30 plus hours as far as how much time we put towards doing it. But yeah, it took a while. I like the grind though. There's a really fun loop that it has going with it. But anyways, guys, I will catch you guys later. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will catch you guys very, very soon. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you tomorrow night, same time as always, hour and a half prior to now tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Goodbye, everyone. Catch you later, and stay safe out there.